Just a warning to all you with epilepsy, this video may not be the best for you.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
Reload.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to episode 2 of GT. Today, we're supposed to be doing the Razor Naga. However, due to some technical difficulties that we're still actually working on tweaking right now, but we're going to get it done. We're actually going to be tackling another little beauty by Razor called the Orochi. And I already know right now some of you are going to flame me in the comment section saying, oh, it's pronounced Orochi, or it's pronounced this, or it's pronounced that. You know what? I've been calling it the Orochi since I got it and started using it. So, we're going to go with that. So first things first, let's take a look at this thing's packaging. We're not really going to do an unboxing or anything like that, because you know what? There's so many unboxings out on the internet that we just don't need another one. But basically, it comes in a little box like this. It's a little square, kind of rectangle thing. Really nice, as opposed to some of their other boxes. It is significantly smaller, and actually carries all the accessories back here, the actual mouse up front here, just in a nice little display piece. There's also some info if you take out this little green card, but like I said, we're not going to do an unboxing. This is just showing you the packaging it comes in. So it actually doesn't come in that big of a packaging. Now, this mouse actually retails for about 80 bucks. You can buy it through Razer. You can buy it through, you know, sometimes there's Best Buys that carry them, or other local computer stores that actually wind up carrying them. However, nowhere in this local area actually I was able to find it anywhere. Not Miracle Computer, not Best Buy, not Target, not Walmart, not anywhere. And normally Best Buy at least has some of the Razer stuff. Like I know they have a couple keyboards and a few mice here, and even a couple mouse pads by Razer up in this place. But not this one. And I'm not sure why, because they do carry a lot of other notebook mice. And this is pretty much the ultimate notebook mouse. This thing retails, like I said, for about 80 bucks, so it does seem a little bit on the steep side until you look at everything it actually does come with. Because it does come with, first off, tiny little carrying pouch, which is actually pretty awesome. It's made out of neoprene. If you've ever been scuba diving, it's the stuff that you know wetsuits are made out of. Actually has a little divider on the inside, because this thing can be either wired or wireless. And it's actually a pretty nice little size. And the wire actually detaches, so if you want to keep the wire in there with the mouse, you could do that, and it actually fits pretty well. So looking at the mouse itself, it is a nice little guy. We're actually going to leave it plugged in for a minute, because if I unplug it, the program will actually shut down. So you need to have your mouse plugged in if you're going to run the configuration tool, which we see this a lot with Razer products, and actually with a lot of products in general that are oriented towards gaming, where you actually have to run the program to maximize, you know, your mouse to the full potential. The odd thing is, it does have to actually be hardwired. You can't just configure it wirelessly through Bluetooth. The reason for that is it actually doesn't do all of its max settings through the Bluetooth. You can only get, I think it's about 2600 DPI, and you can't do all your macros and stuff like that with the actual Bluetooth attachment. However, Razer did do something right for once, and we don't see this in enough of the Razer mice that I've been playing with. Depending on if you have it set up for right hand or left hand, because each side is exactly identical with the forward and back buttons. So I have it set up for right-handed use, because I'm a righty. So these are my forward and back buttons. Whichever side is not your forward and back button, so these two here, are actually on-the-fly DPI changes, whether it's wired or wireless. So you can actually go from like 2600 DPI down to like 1200 or even down to 400 just by hitting these two buttons right here. And like I said, we really don't see that on enough of the Razer mice. I mean, there's a couple where, you know, you do a macro hotkey thing with your keyboard, but let's face it, like on the G5 here, it's just a couple buttons right here. DPI down, DPI up. I like that on my mice. It's a very, very nice feature. It means I don't have to open up some software tool to actually change it. I can literally just push button, go, it's done. So, looking more at the mouse is actually, you know, portability, things of that nature. Like I said, it does run off of Bluetooth. So, even if you don't have Bluetooth on your computer, you can get really, really tiny adapters nowadays. I've just been using this little stick one with my netbook, because my netbook actually, apparently, as it turns out, doesn't have built-in Bluetooth. It says it did, but it doesn't. So, you can get the sticks like this. However, they have them that are pretty much like that big. And they can just pretty much sit in your USB port the entire time. So if you already have Bluetooth built in, this is an awesome mouse to go with. Otherwise, you're going to look at spending about another 20 to 40 bucks on a Bluetooth adapter for your computer to be able to use this thing wirelessly. However, the wire is only about like 2 feet long, so it's really not that long of a wire for being, a mobile mouse. And I've seen longer cables with mobile mice. But anyway, let's take a look at the configuration tool real quick so I can show you guys around that. Because like I said, like with many Razer mice and like with many gaming peripherals, period, you do actually have to use this configuration tool to maximize the mouse to its full potential. So if we look at the configuration tool, right now we have it currently set up to 4000 DPI, which is the max for this mouse. I know it seems a little bit on the low side. Oh, and just so you can actually see, all that we're missing down at the bottom is an OK Cancel Apply button and the 1000 Hertz thing right here. So really not too much that you're missing out on. But otherwise, we've got, we can change the slider and go all the way down, 125 DPI. I like to leave it at 4000 when I'm plugged in, just because it makes moving this mouse around a little bit easier. You can actually change what every single button on the mouse does, which is a very, very cool feature, and you don't see it a lot. And especially on, like, the Naga, which we'll tackle next week, something like this would have been awesome to have. But, like I said, that's Naga. This is this one. It has this feature. It's pretty awesome. You see, there is a little blue light that comes on down here. If you look at the mouse itself, you can kind of see it as well a little bit better. That little blue light right here is actually your battery indicator. When it's solid blue, it means your battery is fully charged, ready to go. They claim the battery life on this is about 1 to 3 months, with this being as long as 6 months. Now, not sure how much I believe the 6-month number, especially seeing as, there are a lot of other companies that come out there saying their batteries are 2 to 4 hours long, when really they're more closer to the 2-hour mark. But like I said, we'll probably just do a quick overview in about a month, come back, do a quick revisit, just, let you guys know how the battery's still holding up, or maybe we'll just do a review once the battery dies, so you guys can have an accurate picture of how the battery lasts, because I've been using this thing for a good 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to, put it through all the different rigorous testing. The other thing is you can save actual different profiles for your game here. You can toggle it to show it up on the screen, but if you're like me, you like a clean desktop, because, yeah, I like my desktop to be pretty, just saying. But that's just me. I know there are other people out there that have like clusters of icons all over their computer. But if that's your thing, you can actually, create a complete new profile for every single game that you play, be it FPS, MMO, RTS, anything. Have them saved right here and just be able to, switch or even set it up to automatically switch to it when you open said program. You can also change macros. So I can take my right click and have it do X macro in X video game. And that's kind of a cool thing. That's not a lot of features, a lot of things ever actually have. At least not that I've really played with too much. Especially, in a notebook mouse, if you have it wired in. Now, mind you, if you are wireless, the only things that you can really change are the DPI. And that's just quick on the fly through the mouse. Pretty much every other setting is completely hardwired in. And you can change the battery indicator light on or off, or the little scroll wheel light on or off. I personally like to have my scroll wheel light on, because it's kind of cool looking. Especially, when it's on a nice mouse pad, like my Rift mouse pad. Rift mouse pad is awesome, by the way. It's a nice little SteelSeries. We'll take a look at some of the other SteelSeries mouse pads later on. But it's a pretty awesome mouse pad. You can actually check for updates, and I know something all you Bluetooth mice users are wondering about, and it's the lag between the wake-up. Now, I actually wound up rolling back my firmware because I've heard a couple things. Mind you, like I said, I haven't played with the mouse long enough. I've only been playing it for about a week or two. And I have heard something about when you do the firmware update, it does actually cause the battery life to lessen. But if you do apply said firmware update, the wake-up time is literally about a quarter of a second. Right now, if you let it sit idle just straight out of the box settings, it takes about half of a second to a second for it to wake up, which in the middle of an FPS or anything like that, waiting a full second, yes, can kill you. So if you're going to be using this for FPS a lot, I would definitely recommend actually getting the firmware update. Other than that, it's really not that big of a deal. And like I said, I'm using this, just for base netbook usage. It's my portable mouse. It goes in my laptop bag, just fits in real nice there. And even when I'm just carrying around the netbook and the netbook sleeve, it fits right in that sleeve, and you hardly even notice it's there. It's awesome. So for $80, when you could be paying $80 for other mice and things of that nature, it's a pretty darn good mouse because there are a lot of mobile mice out there that are in the $80 to $100 price range. Now, one thing I will say, if you do not presently have Bluetooth, there are other mice out there that may be the better pick for you because they do have their own dongle. And if you don't want to have to worry about a wired mouse and just want to use wireless, this may not be the mouse for you because, like I said, you're going to be spending $20 to $40 to go out and pick up a little Bluetooth dongle. However, if you have the built-in Bluetooth or you don't mind using a wired mouse, this thing is awesome. Great for mobile gaming. It's going to go great in comparison with this, or combined with the Switchblade when that comes out. If those is something you were looking at, which everybody should take a look at that Switchblade, because in my opinion, it's the sexiest little machine out there and blows any other gaming rig like away for portability. Other than that, really not too much else to say on this particular mouse. It is great, and for our rating for this mouse, for what it is, being a mobile notebook mouse meant to be going on the go, traveling, not hooked up to your main desktop 100% of the time. Because if you are buying this for your desktop, don't. This is a portable mouse, and I'm sorry, with a 2-foot cable, it's not even coming close to reaching to my computer, desktop. I had to plug this into my actual Lycosa here just to, get it on the desktop so I could show you guys the app and play with it a little bit. So, final rating on this mouse. As a mobile mouse, 4 F-bombs out of 5. Why did my logo not show up? Alright, so I guess we're not going to see the logo today. Like I said, we've been having some technical difficulties here, getting people remoted in and things of that nature. But 4 F-bombs out of 5. It's not completely perfect. Like I said, if it had come with one of those tiny little Bluetooth dongles, it would have been awesome and gotten 5 out of 5. Everything else about this mouse is absolutely phenomenal, at least so far. Like I said, we'll look at it again in about a month or two, see when the battery dies, see how well the battery's lasting up. And the other thing that I've heard is sometimes, these little fleet can wear off down. But, like I said, at least at the moment, we're getting 4 out of 5, which is a pretty darn good rating, if I do say so myself. So, if you are looking for a decent mobile mouse, and you do have the built-in Bluetooth, definitely check out the Razer Orochi, because it is one of the best ones that I've seen out there. And for $80, I mean, if you're going to spend $80 on a mouse, might as well go with this one here, because it holds up well. The other really nice thing, by the way, if you've ever played with wireless notebook mice, they have these wonderful little clips all along this bottom thing here that really like to snap off for you to replace the batteries and stuff. This one here, no clips whatsoever. None. You literally just set it on there, and there are 3 magnets in the back here. 1, 2, 3. That literally just magnet it back into place. And it's awesome. Comes apart real easy, goes back together really easily. One of the easiest mouses I've ever had to change batteries on, other than my VX Revolution that I had back in the day. I think I actually still have it over here somewhere. Yeah. But even this thing here, with its little pooper dongle, still, this gets really sloppy with these little clips, and some of these clips have actually been pretty stressed. And I've had this thing since it came out. And I know there are a lot of people who have been complaining about this battery door not staying on after a while. So, in closing, check out this mouse. At least give it a look-see. Worst case, if you don't like it, you can always turn it and, return it. 30-day warranty, stuff like that. But like I said, I highly advise against returning a mouse like this because it is just that awesome. Other than that, pretty much wraps it up for this episode of GT. We will see you guys next week when we will, yes, be tackling the Razer Naga in all of its gloriousness. And with that, peace out. See you guys later.